Welcome to Player Profiler today. I'm your host, Jake. As always, on Tuesdays, you can follow me on X, Twitter, whatever you still call it, at Lewy Lewis 5. That's also on the screen. That's LEWYLEWIS and the number 5. Thanks for tuning into today's show. Remember, check us all week here at Player Profiler. We have new shows going on throughout the week. On today's show, I will be covering news around the league, giving you my top 10 NFL running back rankings, and of course, the rookie of the week. Without further ado, let's get fantasy. News around the league. Travis Hunter came out and said he would rather retire and not play football if he can't play both ways. That is from his high school days, college days. He's always played corner and wide receiver. He believes he could do it at the next level. He stated also no team has any issues with him playing both cornerback and wide receiver. To me, that's great news for us fantasy gamers because we want Travis Hunter as a wide receiver. How much is he going to participate as a wide receiver? It's going to really be on the team that's going to draft him. Most likely, the odd betting favorites is the Cleveland Browns. So it could be easily, is he going to play wide receiver mostly for the Browns or corner or, 50-50 kind of thing. It'll be interesting to see. I think he can do it. Even if he does it for like a few years and we get that big time production from him in the wide receiver position a few years from now, it's still worth a buy in Dynasty. Next is the Dolphins GM, Chris Grier, stated that is not anything that they're pursuing, but who knows if somebody wants to come and get Tyreek Hill for 2 firsts, they'll consider it. I think it's just more blown smoke than anything else. I after, the whole scandal and everything else that Tyreek Hill had, throwing up the do sign with his changing his profile on Twitter to Antonio Brown's body and saying he wants to be out of here. He wants to compete. I think is more that he just, wants to be there, but he wants to win. He wants to be, he doesn't want to be like Barry Sanders and just sit around and wait for them to do something. He wants them to do it now. I don't see him getting traded at this point. Come draft night next week, Thursday, who knows? But as of right now, I am not thinking he is going to go anywhere. They're also talking about getting rid of Jalen Ramsey, cornerback, all-pro. That's more likely to happen. I know they're talking about also releasing him potentially, or if they can't find a trade suitor. Also, Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin really, really likes Shedeur Sanders. And it's really an option at quarterback for them if he's on the board at pick 21. I don't think he's going to be on the board at 21 personally. I think he's going to be, I have him projected in my mock drafts at number 9 to the New Orleans Saints. I just have a hard time for myself to see him fall out of the top 10. I think he sticks around. and he gets drafted by the Saints. There's talks about potentially the Saints like Jackson Dart better. He's a bigger physical guy. He's got mobility that Kellen Moore is used to in his offense, which is fine. I think with the accuracy and everything else, it makes sense for Sanders to go there. But if he somehow slides, I think he's still going to get drafted in the top 15. I think somebody's going to move ahead, especially if it's the Browns. I mean, you want to jump your division rival? Why not piss them off? They got no quarterback. I mean, if you consider Mason Rudolph a starting caliber quarterback, you're not going to make the playoffs next year. I'm just going to be upfront and honest about that. Also, Shedeur Sanders is working out with the New York Giants on Thursday as well. Potentially, he still gets drafted by them. I highly doubt it, especially since there is talks of them possibly putting Kayvon Thibodeau on the trade block, meaning they're probably going to select Abdul Carter from Penn State. That is my thought process in this. Also, I mean, they'd have a huge rotation with, if they did keep Thibodeau, you have Carter, you have Brian Burns, but they did work him out, or they're going to work him out. Other news is there is 17 NFL prospects attending the Green Room in Green Bay next week, Thursday. Players that are not skilled position include Tyler Booker, Jahad Campbell, Will Campbell, Abdul Carter, Mason Graham, Will Johnson, Josh Simmons, Malachi Starks, Shamar Stewart, and Malik Williams. Now, for skilled position, you're looking at the most likely the number one overall, Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, and a surprise invite and acceptance, Jalen Milroe. I mean, usually they don't invite people that are not considered first rounders. He potentially could sit in the green room for a couple rounds. I don't see it happening, but I do see that happening more likely than anything else, but it's just a surprise visit or acceptance and offer. I don't know what to make of it. I know there's a lot of rumors and smoke of potentially him going to the Browns in the second round, him going to the Giants potentially in the second round. But I think if they're going to want him in the second round early, why not just trade up and draft him in the first round, giving you that option of a fifth-year option, especially for a quarterback. Now that they make 50 to 90 million, who knows anymore? I mean, $60 million for a starting quarterback is insane, but to have that fifth-year option rather than 4 and resign is a huge bonus for them. Also, Ashton Jeanty, the number one running back on the board, is attending as well. Dual threat, we just talked about him. Travis Hunter, he is attending as well. Matthew Golden and Tet McMillan. Those are the 17 that are attending the NFL draft next week in Green Bay. I'm just still mind blown with the whole the Jalen Milroe. I just did not see that coming. And with that, let's have a word from the Podfather.
Rookie. It's all about rookie talk in fantasy football right now. So why not go use all that knowledge to do something other than a mock draft? Chris Gimino won $8,000 with just 2 teams last year, and each draft took 5 minutes. That's pretty good ROI. You can start doing rookie drafts for money today on Fast Draft. The Origins tournament is live. It is the place to go and monetize your knowledge of rookies. and use your favorite Player Profiler host promo code for a $25 deposit match. Now let's go start drafting faster.
You know what? Instead of $25, you put Lewis and you'll get a $50 dollar for dollar match on your first deposit. Again, that's Lewis. Actually, currently I'm in a Origins draft. It might be actually the last one. I know we were 99% filled. I know last week we did a live one. If it's still going on, we could always do a live one. If not, let's do a flex 4 today. That's just one thing. Also, ways to follow us here. You're doing a good job right now. The YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to us here at YouTube. Also, follow my own podcast at Fantasy Endzone. I come out with a new episode every Tuesday. And during the regular season, I have Tuesdays and Fridays. So be sure to check that. That's any of your, wherever you get your podcasts. Now, let's get into my top 10 running back rankings. Obviously, I kind of mentioned it earlier. Ashton Jeanty, standout running back from Boise State, has emerged as a top prospect in this year's draft and as the top prospect for running backs this year. His exceptional performance during the 2024 season garnered so much interest and attention from NFL teams. I mean, hell, he had 2,600 yards rushing, 29 touchdowns. He earned the Maxwell Award and the Dope Walker Award. He also was unanimous All-American, and he finished runner-up in the Heisman to no other than Travis Hunter. Even though, in my opinion, I think he got shafted. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. I think Jeanty should have won, but that's just me. Also, we just reports. Origins is now complete, so we'll talk later. We'll get into it, but Origins is now complete. Going back to Jeanty, 2023 season, he also had 1,300 yards rushing, 14 touchdowns, along with 569 yards receiving with 5 touchdowns. So I hear a lot of this talk about, oh, he can't contribute in the passing game or anything like that. Well, I mean, granted, he ran for 2,600 yards. What else do you need to do? But in 2023, he had 1,300, but also added 569 and 5 touchdowns. So he could catch the ball out of the backfield easily. He's going to be, I have him projected going to the Las Vegas Raiders at 6. I mean, if he goes there, we know how Pete Carroll is, wanting to have that big play guy and use another Marshawn Lynch. This guy is it. So his fantasy outlook is very top tier running back. I mean, I already have him roughly as number 3 Dynasty running back. I actually have him number 3B because I have Devon Achane as 3A, just depending on where they go or where he goes for a landing spot. Obviously, if he gets, drafted by a team that has an RA elite running back this year, he's probably going to be number 4. The combination of his vision, contact balance, and explosiveness, easily, again, that makes him for a 3-down running back. I love him. I mean, obviously, he's going to be your 101 in most rookie drafts, regardless of whichever format, one quarterback or super flex. My number 2 right now, all these are going to depend also on landing spots, but is Omarion Hampton. Very powerful running back from the University of North Carolina. 2024, he had 1,600 yards, 15 touchdowns on 281 carries. So he averaged 5.9 yards per carry, adding also 38 catches for 373 yards and 2 scores. That's after Drake May left the program last year as he got drafted by the New England Patriots. But the year he was with Drake May, he had 1,700 total yards from scrimmage. That's back-to-back over 1,600 yards in scrimmage yards. That's amazing. I think it's only been done a few times over, I think he had over 1,500 yards rushing in 2023 as well. But I think it's only been done a few times back to back, rushing over 1,500 yards. I think is like Lamar Jackson, Travis Etienne, I think. I can't remember off the top of my head, but in the ACC 2022 season, he also rushed for 1,200 yards and 14 touchdowns. Over his college career, he had over 4,000 yards rushing and 40 touchdowns. Amazing college career. Hampton is considered top tier running back. He is my number 2. His strengths, known for his power, downhill running, contact balance, and ability to break tackles. He also shows pass protection efficiency and reliable receiver out of the backfield. I mean, he had 38 catches last year. His concerns, lacks that top end speed and agility, which may limit his ability to make defenders miss in space. But he is so physical, he could just run over them. But he's not going to outrun you, most likely. Hampton is projected to be selected in the second round. To me, I think he's going to get first round capital. I know there's a lot of teams like the Cowboys, Commanders, Bears. They all have already shown interest in him. And I think that's going to be where he lands as one of those few teams. Moving on, number 3 is Quinshon Judkins, dynamic running back out of Ohio State. Last year, he transferred from Ole Miss to Ohio State, rushing for over 1,000 yards, 14 touchdowns, averaging 5.5 yards per carry. In 2023, for Ole Miss, he had 1,100 yards and 16 touchdowns. And his freshman year, 1,500 yards and 16 touchdowns in the SEC. He's proven that he could play in the SEC. He had, 1,500, 1,100, 32 touchdowns in 2 seasons in the SEC and in the Big Ten, which to me is known for your running ability. 14 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards. And he shared a backfield with probably would have been the number 1 running back last year if he came out, but he decided to return. In his college career, he had over 3,700 yards rushing and 46 touchdowns. His strengths, known for his explosiveness, burst, contact balance, and ability to break tackles. He has shown an improvement in the pass protection, making him potentially a 3-down workhorse. Lacks top end speed again, and is not particularly, elusive in the open field. His receiving production has been limited. I mean, I think it's more of Travion Henderson taking that running back reception out of the backfield from him, but that's just my thoughts. He's projected to be a second rounder. I think he might even sneak up into the first round as well. I mean, depending on these teams, that could very well go after him. I mean, we seen last year a couple guys that switched teams, like Barkley. He changed the game potentially for the Eagles. They won the Super Bowl. Josh Jacobs for the Packers. Derrick Henry for the Ravens. I mean, these are just a few guys that just switch. And I think maybe we're going back to running backs are a big thing. They're not going to get paid like it, but with this deep class, it could be could be a different turn of events. My number 4 is Travion Henderson. I have him ranked below Judkins just because I think Judkins doesn't have that wear and tear like Henderson since he's 1 year shorter or in college 1 year less. But Henderson is so dynamic from Ohio State. In his freshman year, 1,200 yards, 15 touchdowns on 183 carries. He averaged 6.8 yards a carry in the Big Ten as a freshman. Amazing. Sophomore year, only had 571, 6 touchdowns, hampered by injuries. He only played in 8 games. His junior year, 926 yards, 11 touchdowns, and he only played in 10 games. Last year, he only had 967 yards, 10 touchdowns in 15 games. He played a huge pivotal role for Ohio State and their championship run. Overall, his college career, over 3,700 yards, 42 touchdowns, but also had 77 catches, 833 yards, 6 touchdowns. So he can be that play guy or playmaker out of the backfield, catching, running, get uphill. I mean, that's some of his strengths, boost, elite acceleration, home run speed. I mean, we seen it in the college playoff game right before halftime, a 75-yard catch and run. Contact balance. He is a capable receiver, like I said, out of the backfield, excels in pass protection. So he can play on third down, which is huge in the NFL. His concerns, which I was going to bring it up, his durability. I mean, we've seen the last few years, besides his freshman and senior year, he did miss games in 2022 and 23. His in-between tackle running ability, it might be, take a toll if he gets hurt with his durability issues. So that kind of puts a damper. And his draft projections, he might sneak into the first round as well. I mean, maybe he goes to the Commanders late. I think they have the 29th overall pick. Potentially he goes there. I just, love these 4 running backs are easily my top 4, and they all actually could make it in the first round. Now, those can switch, obviously, depending on landing spots, but 5 through 10, that's where we get tricky, I feel. My number 5 is Caleb Johnson, standout running back from Iowa. He has emerged as a top prospect in the 2025 draft, following a remarkable junior year where he had over 1,500 yards rushing and 21 touchdowns. He averaged 6.4 yards per carry. Johnson also has the size, the vision, and physicality. He can be that short yardage back for you, but I really like what he does. He had over 1,500 yards. He also caught 22 passes for 120 or 188 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, he contributes a little bit, but if you look at that Iowa team, do they really pass? No. The answer is no. I'll just answer it for you. They strictly just said, here, Johnson, just run it. Just run it. That's all we need you to do. He's projected to be a second round guy. And I just think some landing spots. It was originally in Minnesota I had him going to, but there's talks about Kansas City Chiefs potentially being a landing spot. I would not be surprised if it's something like that, even though we know Andy Reid loves his pass catching running backs. Number 6, RJ Harvey, dynamic running back from UCF. His college career performance last season, over 1,500 yards, 22 touchdowns, averaging 6 yards per carry. And he also had 20 catches for 180 yards and 3 touchdowns. So we've seen that he can be effective out of the backfield. He's great between tackles. You know, he's a home run guy with averaging over 6 yards per carry. And 2 years ago, 2023, he had over 1,400 yards and 16 touchdowns. And his 2022 season, he had 13 touchdowns or 19 touchdowns for 1,300 yards total. Over the 3 years, 4,500 yards from scrimmage and 47 total tackles, both school records for them. Dynasty rankings, he is often listed in top 10 most people's. To me, he's number 6. His strengths, his burst, his vision, ability to make defenders miss in open space. My concern is his size, pass protection. It might limit him down to just early down back. And we, as fantasy gamers, really like PPR points. So having him on the field at all times would be great. Those are my kind of concerns. He's projected 3rd to 5th round draft. I just think, depending on where he gets drafted, he could be easily a home run hit and potentially a steal in this draft. I mean, hell, all these running backs can be steals in this draft. It's just mind-boggling that all these running backs can start in the NFL. And it's not even these 10, because I'll be honest, I don't have Cam Scatterboo in my top 10. Call me crazy, I just don't see it. But other people do. Just let me know what you guys think in the chat. You know, maybe I'm just crazy. I don't think so, but who knows? Dylan Sampson is my number 7 standout running back from University of Tennessee. You know, everyone wants to complain about that Tennessee has their offense spread out all the way to the the sidelines. I understand that, but he's also in the SEC where, potentially Jihad Campbell, first round pick, middle linebacker, they still have to make tackles. Last season, rushed for over 1,400 yards, 22 touchdowns, averaging 5.8 yards per carry. The year before, he didn't play as much because he was behind Jalen Wright, 604 yards, 7 touchdowns, though. His freshman year, 397 yards, 6 touchdowns. He's a touchdown machine. I mean, yeah, he didn't have that many yards, but 6, 7 touchdowns. And his one opportunity he did have a start, or, got to start, 22 touchdowns. So in the 3 years, over 24, almost 2,500 yards on the ground, 35 touchdowns. He had 40 catches for 342 yards. So he can catch the ball out of the backfield. We just didn't really see it often, just because they did run to him, and they always, have these speedster guys on the outside. His strengths, his burst, vision, ability to make defenders miss in open space. Again, same kind of, I guess concerns for me, just like RJ Harvey, size, pass protection. Can he be that third down running back? I mean, he could catch. We've seen that, but can he pass block? If you can't pass block, you're not going to be on the field. That's just how it goes. He did also have a New England Patriots top 30 visit with Sampson, which is a huge thing. I know they're not going to take him at number 4. Don't worry, but these are their top 30 prospects is more or less what they're doing to bring him in. potentially early second, but I think he's more of a third round running back, maybe fifth, in between 3 and 5. Next is number 8, Ollie Gordon the second, standout running back from Oklahoma State. If he was able to come out last year, he'd probably be a top running back in last year's draft class. Where he earned the Dope Walker Award, nation's top running back. He had over 1,700 yards, 21 touchdowns, averaged 6.1 yards per carry. That was in 2023. How does he follow up? Not so great. 880 yards. Yeah, that's better than some of these other guys I say, earlier on in their career. He only had 4.6 yards per carry. Gordon, his team had a makeshift lineup, offensive line all season. His offensive line was always hurt. His team sucked. I think they finished 3-9. It was just terrible. But over his 3-year college career, he had over 2,900 yards, 36 touchdowns, and he caught 80 catches, 585 yards as well. 80 catches, you're looking at over 25 catches per season, which is pretty good considering, last year they had a disappointing season. I think it's more that he's trying to do way too much. Since his team sucked, he's trying to put his team on his back. And the team was just garbage. His strengths to me is his physical running style, vision, ability to get open and contribute into the run game, but also the passing game as well. His concerns, 2024 performance, was affected with inconsistent offensive line, like I said, and a lack of explosive plays. But I think that pertains to more the team that he was on was just not that good. To me, he could be easily one of this year's NFL draft steals, but also in your rookie drafts. Number 9, Bashal Tutin, a dynamic running back prospect out of Virginia Tech. He showcased his speed at the NFL Combine, running a 4.32, ranking in the top 5 of the fastest times for running backs in the event's history. Blazing speed. Last year, he had over 1,100 yards rushing, 17 touchdowns, 6.33 yards per carry in 11 games. He also had 81 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. I guess in, one of his performances, he had 266 yards rushing on 18 carries, scoring 4 times in a single game against Boston College. He broke the school's record with rushing yards. That's kind of pretty damn good considering Mike Vick went there and he just ran all over teams. But Tutin, with that 4.32 speed, that's one of my things that generated me towards him. He's easily a top 10 running back to me. His strengths, speed, burst with 100 percentile 40-yard dash and 98th percentile speed score. Sign me up, because all you have to do is get this guy the ball and get him in open space, do design plays for him. I think it's great. The only concern I have, or big concern I have, is ball security and inconsistent in the passing game. He had 9 fumbles and 9 drops over the past 3 seasons. Also, last year, when you're only contributing, you have 81 yards receiving. That's a well, I don't know. But he didn't meet with the Cincinnati Bengals that are interested in running back from what they say. official top 30 visit with them. With Tuin's blend of speed, athleticism, and playmaking abilities makes him a compelling prospect in both NFL draft and fantasy. Just watch where he's going to land. And last but not least, of course, I might be biased, but I really love. I'm a Syracuse fan, just first and foremost. But LaQuint Allen, former Syracuse running back, declared for the 2025 NFL Draft after his stellar standout college career. Known for his dual threat abilities, both as a runner and a receiver, 2,300 yards rushing, 26 touchdowns in the 3 seasons. He also set the school record for career and single season receiving record by a running back, totaling 119 receptions over those 3 years. His last game came against Washington State in the bowl game, 120 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, and had a receiving touchdown. But the NFL should be very intrigued by his versatility and production. His draft should be impacted by what he's put on the field, but it's going to be limited exposure is going to be a huge thing going against weak competition in the ACC. And to me, his decision not to run at the 40 or his 40 at the combine, nor did he at his pro day, which I think is going to hurt his draft stock, which sucks for him, sucks for me, but potentially he could be a very sneaky steal in this year's draft and in your rookie draft. He catches from the backfield. Also, Mel Kiper Jr., and we all know who he is. He always comes out with them, the mock drafts and everything like that. The Orange Crushers, whatever you want to say. Back in January, he had LaQuint Allen as high as number 3 in his position behind Jeanty and Omarion Hampton. He had LaQuint Allen number 3 as a running back in this year's draft. His physicality and pass catching ability are both traits that make him ideal prospect for the NFL and also potentially future bell cow. And of course, I'm in on LaQuint Allen. Those are my rookies rankings. Let me know what you guys think. I know I left Bo Scadaboo out, but it is what it is. Let's hear another word from the Podfather. Maybe we should do this live.
I am proud to announce that Fast Draft now has an all-defense game called D-Up. That's right, fans of IDP finally have a real money best ball game that they can play. No more manually setting up leagues every time you want to do a draft. No. Now you can play for 10 grand, 2,000 to first. Could draft up to 30 teams, all defense. And the best part, balanced scoring, tackles for loss, pass breakups. It all factors in. Just draft 6 defensive players, top 4 into your lineup every week. It's that easy. It's so easy that this isn't just for IDP people. If you love the NFL, then you'll love this game. And for the first time with Fast Draft, you can sweat both sides of the ball on Sunday. So use your host's promo code to get a $25 deposit match, and you'll love this D-Up contest because it's about time we got one.
Yes, D-Up. I just logged in. If you guys want, we could try to do it live. It's up to you. We need 5 spots to fill. Again, that's on Fast Draft. You could use my promo code Lewis. You get $50 dollar for dollar match up to $50. But I'll go ahead and with my rookie of the week is Kyle Williams, wide receiver from Washington State. He's emerging as one of the top prospects for the NFL draft, standing at 5'11", 190 pounds. Williams possesses elite acceleration and deep threat potential. He ran a 4.4 at the combine and 2024, he had 70 catches, almost 1,200 yards, and 14 touchdowns, setting the school record for receiving touchdown receptions. In 2023, he had 61 catches, 843 yards, and 6 touchdowns. That was with Cam Ward as well. I know that could be interesting having those two. But in his career, 248 receptions, over 3,600 total receiving yards, 29 touchdowns. He's had at least one catch in all 50 games he's ever played. To me, he is a potential sleeper pick, especially deep in dynasty drafts. I mean, we just did Origins. He was mostly drafted in the 4th, 5th round. To me, I just like how he has the deep threat ability. He can play at all aspects of the field. And also, he's been doing visits with 9 teams: Denver Broncos. There's a couple more that he's went to: the 49ers, the Bears. Can't remember off the top of my head now. I just looked it up too. But yeah, he's in 9 pre-draft visits. I just love how he's quick ability, home run hitter, playmaking skills. You know, it's just what we like for fantasy football. That is my rookie of the week. Doesn't look like the D up is going to fill, but I'm still logged into it anyways. But anyways, that is a wrap of Player Profiler News PrimeTime. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to like, follow, subscribe. For more expert analysis and fantasy tips, remember to follow us on Twitter and follow myself at LewyLewis5. Also, give my podcast, Fantasy Endzone, a listen. And we only have next week, Thursday, is the NFL draft. I'm excited. Next week, I am going to do my final mock draft. Also, I am going to do my wide receivers and tight ends. I'll probably just do 10 wide receivers and 5 tight ends. But I'll give you my rankings next week for those positions as well. But if no one's got any, comments or questions, I'm going to let you guys go, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.
From the Podfather to you, I deeply appreciate you tuning in. And many ask, what can I do? What can I do to help support the hosts, the research they do, the production costs? Go to playerprofiler.com, Dynasty Deluxe, World Famous Draft Kit, Rankings, DFS Dominator, and of course, data analysis. Subscribe to any one of those, and you support all of us and take Player Profiler to the moon.